All right, guys, welcome back to another. Jakey's Pod. I love that. I love coughing directly into the microphone. As soon as I start, we're back. I'm driving to work again, and I'm doing another solo pod in the car. Yeah, I did that yesterday. I worked the gospel show, and I was kind of talking about how I felt like a boiling pot of water. Like I was clearly have some repressed rage, I always have, and I think I'm gonna go. I worked like a 4-hour gospel show, and they were like, "Are you feeling?" They were like, "Are you feeling like you're like boiling over in your life?" And I was like, "Yeah," and they were like, "You gotta let Jesus into your heart," and I was like, "All right, all right," and then I'm like, "Wait." I think I was just getting sucked into a black church, which I hear happens. It's very fun. It's very, very fun. And tonight, I'm basically going to go to the opposite of black church, but I guess so opposite that it's the same, which is I'm going to work Beanie Siegel, which I'm low-key very excited for. I think it's going to be fucking really fun. Really fun. Hopefully a lot less singing and praying and a lot more drinking and smoking. But yeah, I guess yesterday's podcast was meditations on meditation. That's good. Coughing and chewing. That's what people like in a podcast. I love my girlfriend so much. She made me a wrap before work. I was running late for work, and she put all my favorite ingredients, aka turkey and lettuce and cheddar cheese and a little bit of mayo, into her tortilla. And she put in some tinfoil too, and I get to eat that on my way to work. I'm pretty much living life. I don't know. This today's episode is going to be called Meditations on Life and Death with Jake Lipinski. The first episode solo was Meditations on Meditation. Today, I'm meditating on life and death. It's all around us. That would be funny if that's how it's all around us, life, but it really is. It really is. My birthday is in 2 days. All right, so the 9th and then the 10th. And so my birthday's coming up. And birthdays make you think about life and death. Or at least my birthday makes me think about life and death. I always get very somber around my birthday. I wish I didn't. People always say, I feel like people always want to party on your behalf on your birthday. My birthdays, I like them to be very, very low-key. The times where I've tried getting as wasted as possible on my birthday usually end up being the worst birthdays. The ones where you throw up or you can't remember. I think the rule for me on a birthday is to do whatever I want to do. Full Jakey day. That's how I would like to live my life, honestly. If I had all the money in the world tomorrow, I would just do what I wanted to do every single day. And that depends on how I'm fucking feeling. Oh, I'm in the wrong lane. But no, I'm meditating on life and death. I get somber around my birthday. Think about, that was the day I was born, right? But now I'm almost 30, turning 29. Oh, these fuckers. Thank you, fuckers. Actually, that guy's a pretty nice guy, actually. I'm sorry I called him a fucker. Like my neighbor. I just noticed the other day that she's pregnant. And I was like, that's cool. that's cool. I think starting families in 2024 is kind of a weird thing. Back in the day, people would just start families. People would just start families and have nothing and be like, we'll figure it out. I'll have 4 kids. I'll have 4 kids, and they're gonna. And before you know it, they just become their own people. You know, I guess. But I feel like nowadays I kind of only have a family if you're well off. I feel like if I had money tomorrow, I would want to fucking blast a bunch of kids into Maria, fucking blast a bunch of kids into her, and get her a dog. If I had money tomorrow, I would have kids and a dog. I think, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like if men must have a biological clock too. I'm feeling like it's kids and a dog time. But, you know, I think comedy comes first for me in this case. I want the chance to be extremely selfish a little bit longer. Just a little bit longer. But, you know, neighbors having a kid, I'm happy for them. I look at people having kids, they're like rare now. It's like a rare thing nowadays. I'm not some fucking smart podcaster that has all the things ready, but look it up. You can go look it up. Look at the birth rates declining. That's the thing I've heard. And regurgitate. Fact check me. That's the thing I've heard. Birth rates are declining. Birth rates, no good. But I mean, you see it. I feel like, yeah, like if you're gonna have a kid now, like only like, you know, it's generally, I see them in my neighborhood. They're the parents. They both work a remote job. They're fucking chilling, you know, doing society's duty, reproducing. But I was at the park. We had a beautiful day in Philly this week, and I was at the park, and in the middle of the park this is the playground area, and it was like all the kids were at the center of the park, and it was kind of funny to see them all out in like one place, you know. It was like the neighborhood's kids, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, this is where the ones that breed go. When the sun comes out, the breeding people, they take all their kids and they put them in a pile in the middle of the park. I thought that was interesting. You know, and you know, I have multiple friends who have kids, and they're happy. You know, I when I was young, I used to argue with my dad about it. I think I did. Yeah, in like my 20s, I did this very much like I'm not gonna settle down thing because I didn't want to. You know, it's like, you know, you don't jive with all of society's expectations of you, and I was just like, I just thought the idea of you're just supposed to settle down after college felt very boring. But I remember my dad saying like, yeah, but like having a family is like, you know, one of the most gratifying, you know, kind of experience. Like if you're gonna rank life experiences, you know, you could fucking jump out of planes and do stand-up comedy, but then there's the internal side of like creating a genetic line and you know, trying to improve your life through a little person. I know, it's just interesting. You know. And death. But think about death too. Really, this was meant to be meditations on death with Jake Lipinski. I was thinking about death. I was thinking about death today on the shitter. Because the guy who wrote Dragon Ball Z, you know what's so funny? I'm such like a fake fan. This is why you need somebody to fact check something somebody says. The Dragon Ball Z guy died. I was gonna say a name too, but actually I truly don't know, and I'm not just gonna say some Japanese name. The Dragon Ball creator Akira Toriyama died yesterday, which kind of sucks. It kind of sucks. I don't know what he's done recently. I'm sure he's out there chilling. I guess he was old, you know. But all my friends were very, very sad on the internet, and I don't know Akira on a personal level. I don't know Akira, But it seems to me that the guy lived a pretty good life. You invented Goku? You invented Goku? Right? And that's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't really matter what he's done. You know, like the Wu-Tang's first album. You know, you just had to make one. You just got to make Goku, dude. Oh, son of a bitch! Fucking fuckface, dickhead. God, it's just like, look out for yourself, man. Don't shoot me either. I'm sorry. But you invent Goku, you know? That's a good life. And it kind of made me think about, you know, what's the point of life? You know, I'm a stand-up comedian. Is the goal of being a stand-up comedian to become the best stand-up comedian? To reach the heights of stand-up comedy? There's lows and heights, you know what I mean? Is the goal of comedy to, I guess is the goal of what you're doing, that's a very American philosophy, is the goal of what you're doing to reach the heights of what you're doing? You know, some people are just contented doing what they're doing, you know, but then some people want to, you know, achieve stuff. And I was thinking about Akira Toriyama and how many people were sad after his death. And I was like, maybe that's the point of life. The point of life is to be as cool as possible. And then when you die, you want to make a bunch of people sad. And the more successful your life, or the more sad people you make, the better the life. The better the life, the more sad people. Maybe that's the ranking system. What if you go to heaven and he's just ranking how sad you made everybody? John Lennon? Sad. I wasn't there, but I imagine everybody was sad. You know, deaths are sad. You know, I've seen deaths fucking shake an entire small town. Sad. Very sad. Having a death. You know, just you create Goku during your life, and then one night you pass in the middle of the night, and then you wake up the next day and just you pass in the night, and then the next day happens and everyone is sad. And maybe that's what life is about. It's making people sad that you're gone. That might be morbid. I don't know. I'm not claiming to have all the answers here, clearly. And did you see that? Did you see that back there? Talking about the boiling pot. A guy almost, you know, drove directly into me in traffic, and I beeped at him, you know? Whoa! Check that out. That's cool, man. That's really cool. Is that where that is? It's good. It's good. It's really good. Do you know what I love about Chinatown? I like the Chinese stuff. I like the Chinese people. I was like, one minute you're in Philly, and the next minute there's all this Chinese stuff everywhere. I'm like, oh my God, am I in China? It's fun. Yeah, I guess in my Meditations on Meditation episode, I kind of teased off about traveling to Thailand to study meditation with monks, which is an exaggeration. It's definitely an exaggeration, but I did go to Thailand on a stereotypical white guy. I hate to say that, but white guy traveling to Asia to like kind of leech their culture and pretend I'm having a spiritual adventure. You know, which like if you get the opportunity to do that, do it. It's awesome. It's awesome, and you're like, you could be a not shithead about it. You could be a not shithead about it. You know, I was down there with like $1,000, and I was the richest guy for fucking miles, I think. It was crazy. You stimulate their economy. You go down there, support everything, you know? Just throw your money around. One time I gave a hobo with no legs a $500 bill one time. Just because, you know, you see a fucking hobo with no legs, and it wasn't 500 my dollars. What? No, it was 500 their dollars. Which, that's probably like, I'm gonna do like a loose conversion here. That might be like $13. That might be like 13 American dollars. But for them, that's a crisp $500. And you see a hobo with no legs. And that's like his racket too, which is not having legs. You know what I mean? He sits there all day. He probably does fine. But oh my God, it's probably gonna, you know what he does? He like crawls around. Handed him a $500 bill. He freaked out. Ah! Ah! Oh, 500! He got it. He's like, thank you, God! I like made him believe in white Jesus. He's like, thank you, Jesus, thank you. I just, you know, you just see like it just money meant nothing to me over there. It's like, take it, man. I feel like, yeah. Have yourself you know, some food. I don't know what he could do with that. Wouldn't it be great if like he got legs? I helped him get legs. You gotta live in the world you create. You know. I was wondering, that guy might be dead. I was like thinking, either he's like, you know how in Philly we have like the local hobos, like if you're passing through, you might be like, that guy was weird, but if you live here a while, you're like, oh, him. You know what I mean? There's like, you know, there like every block you go to, there's like the 5 you see if you regularly operate in that area. And it's probably the same in Thailand too. He looked fucked up. Like, he had something wrong with him. I feel like he could use $500. Well, could be dead. Or he's just out there fucking rocking and rolling. Maybe he could get a wheelchair. God, I gotta stop talking about this. Gotta start talking about Chinatown. Chinatown. You know what I love about Chinatown? The big fucking, I like the way their streets look. I like that big fucking thing they put up. Do you know what I'm talking about? That big arch? So I was talking about, like, that's to say, I am, I'm like a, there's ways to be a tourist. I was a white guy tourist. But you know what I love a fucking, shoot me, put me to death, all right? Shoot me, but like, hey, I love an Asian street. Jakey loves an Asian street. I know you're not allowed to say stuff like that nowadays, but I love an Asian street. I do. You know what I like about them? I like the droopy, the lighting, the droopy sort of canopy of stuff. It's fun. Give me a long street where people are selling boba teas and fruit and shirts under a canopy of tents, and Jakey's having a blast. Crammed with people. It's just something, I guess that's why you travel, We have malls, but aesthetically, that commerce they got down there, it's a little different. It's funny because in Philly you can go to the Italian market and you could maybe get a sliver of that feeling of like, what am I gonna go get today? Oh, how about you go down to the street and you find yourself some stuff. You know what I mean? You can kind of go do that in Philly. But if you talk to anybody about the Italian market, it's like that thing itself is almost, the fact that it still exists in that form is its own sort of touristy thing, Trust me, I love it down there. But even still, it's almost more of a gimmick here, whereas there it's a way of life. Going to the market, buying some ingredients. That's it. That's they have. It's also like I'm like painting a picture. Like they have fucking Acme's down there too. And they're not called Acme's, but they have them. They're the same. They're basically the same. You know what they have different? They have like an escalator. If Acme's had like an escalator, that's what you get in Thailand. And they'll, it's cool. They'll stick like a fucking, oh, this lady's cutting in. You got it. You got it. You got it. It's like if you had a Walmart, and in the middle of a Walmart, there was like an escalator going down into the basement of a Walmart. And then you get down there, and it's an Acme. That's basically it. That's basically it. Man, you know what? I don't want to talk about this. I might test to see who's listening. I might test to see who's listening. I was thinking, I hate when comics date each other. Scratch that. Anybody can do whatever they want. I hate when comics I know date each other. And, I understand you can't help it. In terms of, if we're talking about the human race, you stick people in a bubble or in a box, you make them associate most days of the week, they're gonna start banging each other. It's just human nature. People like to bang. This is known. People like to bang. People like to bang even though they know it's going to socially harm them. And still, banging is so good. And you're like, do I just want to bang? Do I just want to bang, or are we like, is this like fucking for serious? And sometimes you just gotta, and you know what? If you even have that thought where you're like, is this real, or do we got, I think, if you're gonna bang, if you're destined to bang, there's nothing in this world that can stop you. That's fine. No, but you know what I mean? When two people are like, have it in their hearts to hook up, even if the cards are against them, it's negative, friend groups are involved. Dude, you gotta bang. They bang. People bang. But, it's just annoying, because I've this isn't my first rodeo. I guess that's just how friend groups shift and change over time. Certain people bang, certain people can or can't associate with who. But that's what I'm saying. As a good, I live in the dark about a lot of stuff, and people know to not tell Jakey if they're banging because I blurt. But once you start finding out everybody's banging everybody, it's like, you fucking asshole. Once you find out everybody's banging everybody, it just becomes like, I have to take this into consideration now. And I'm talking about this as it pertains to me booking local comedy shows and lists at open mics. And it's slightly annoying to me. So what I want to say is stop doing it. Just, hey, all comedians who I know, stop doing it just because it's annoying to me. What do you think about that? It's a little insensitive. It's a little insensitive. You're right. It is a little insensitive. Maybe you guys really... Yeah, I might have to cut this out. No. Let them listen. Let them hear. People love banging. People bang. Oh, that's what I wanted to talk about. Yeah, you put a bunch of comedians together, they bang. You put a bunch of coworkers together in a building, they bang. The more you're not supposed to, the more they're going to. It's actually funny. I was watching old Star Trek. Do you ever watch old Star Trek? Old Star Trek is, I know it's probably not meant to be, but it's goddamn hilarious. It's often so funny. The plot of almost every episode, I might be exaggerating here, but what feels like the plot of every episode is just the secretary on the Starship Enterprise is just hoping her boss bangs her. That's every episode. I really hope my boss notices me and tries to fuck me. Oh, how the times have shifted. That was just like on TV. Like, secretaries love. They want their bosses to like them. Every secretary wants their boss to like them. A lot. That show rules. You gotta check it out. Don't be mad at me. That's what that show's about. Hey, wheelchair guy. Hey, can you fucking stop? Do I have a right of way for fucking wheelchairs? No, I should stop. I gotta park soon. Beanie needs me. Beanie needs me. If I had to wrap up my discussion on life and death right now, I'm gonna wrap it up right now, is that, we die. We die. People die. But, we bang. People love to bang. And because we bang, we live. And we get to keep on living. So, maybe it's good that, people just continue to bang and reproduce, so we don't die alone and lead the human race to extinction. Guys, this has been therapy with Jake Lipinski. This has been Jake Lipinski's pod. This has been Jake Lipinski's pod. And remember, therapy is bad for you. Therapy is very, very bad for you. You should not be going. People die. But it's okay. Whoa. Ooh. Right, and that is the end of this podcast. It's just going to always be me looking for parking. It's going to always kind of peter off at the end as I park. Maybe I should remember to stop it at like the stoplight if I'm doing a car pod. Oh, here's a spot. Is that a spot? That's a spot. Is that a spot? That's a spot. That's a spot. I'm going to park at a spot. If anybody listens to this, they are either going to like it or they're going to hate it. They're going to hear it and they're going to fucking be like, this guy, you're either this is comedy gold or this is really unhinged. Guys, this has been Jake Lipinski's pod. Meditations on Life and Death. Signing off.